Most times, fans expect every player to become GOATs like Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi, but things don't always turn out that way. Like it did for Anderson, the young Brazilian star who became popular at Manchester United for his pace, vigour and his unmistakable braids. Now, Brazil has a history of producing some of the world's best players. These include Ronaldinho, Rivaldo and Roberto Carlos. For this reason, Anderson was tipped to be the next big thing from South America, especially since he was playing for a club as big as Manchester United, who at the time were managed by the legendary Sir Alex Ferguson. Let's not forget that he was also on the same team with a group of exceptional talent such as Wayne Rooney, Rio Ferdinand, and of course, Cristiano Ronaldo. All things considered, it'll be hard to think of anything that could go wrong in Anderson's career, given the calibre of the club he was playing for and the quality of players he had on his side. Sure enough, the young Brazilian became a regular feature for the team, which in turn made him a popular face at Old Trafford. He was exceptionally talented too, and his consistent performances earned him the Golden Boy Award in 2008. However, it seemed the money and the fame got to his head, as he developed a habit of drinking and partying which did his game absolutely no good. The once slender midfielder began gaining weight, and the level of his game dropped significantly. Long story short, Anderson achieved little to nothing individually, as the only laurels he ever got his hand on were the ones Manchester United won as a team. And after his departure from Sir Alex Ferguson's side, he faded away into the abyss and made no significant development as a player afterwards. I'm sure many Manchester United fans can't even remember the next club he played for after leaving Old Trafford, and that says a lot about how irrelevant he became as a player. It didn't come as a surprise when he announced his retirement at the young age of 32, and that officially marked the end of what was once a promising career. Now, Anderson's story might be sad, but certainly not as heartbreaking as that of Mario Balotelli. Of course, he achieved some success as a player, most notably when he delivered the assist for Sergio Aguero to score the goal that won Manchester City a historic Premier League title. To add to that, his performance against Germany at the 2012 European Championship was nothing short of heroic. No one could deny Balotelli's talents. He was fast, skillful with the ball, and he could score some stunning goals. But as Balotelli found out the hard way, making it to the top in football takes a lot more than talent. Someone should have told him that keeping a cool head is equally important, but I'm sure he heard that many times throughout the course of his career. Mario was known as a hothead who had a hard time getting along with his teammates and coaches. He would argue, get into squabbles, and disobey his coach's instructions anytime he felt like it. In fact, the only reason clubs tolerated his BS was because of his exceptional abilities. Other than that, I'm sure he wouldn't even have a career to begin with. He first showed signs of his stubbornness while playing for Inter Milan, after which he carried the same nasty attitude to every club he played for. But it wasn't until he signed for Liverpool that his career started to take a major nosedive. He was a flop at Anfield, and that was when his name began fading from memory. No big club wanted the former star striker on their roster, and it got so bad that he ended up playing for a lowly ranked Monza in Italy's second division. Certainly not fit for a player of Balotelli's calibre. This guy could have ended his career with the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona, and any other big team in Europe if he had kept a cool head. But I guess there are some habits that will never go away. Theo Walcott is up next, and while he isn't as controversial as Balotelli, his career was equally as disappointing. The young lad kicked off his career on the brightest note possible, as he broke into Arsenal's first team at the tender age of 17. Before then, he was one of the best players in Southampton's academy, and everyone tipped him to be the next big thing in English football. These predictions looked like they would come true, as Walcott dazzled the Arsenal fans with his pace and eye for goal. At that time, he was one of the most difficult attackers to mark, as his speed helped him dash past defenders with ease. Now, with such gifts at his disposal, you would expect him to reach the heights of other English legends such as Alan Shearer and David Beckham, but recurring injuries became a huge headache for the promising young lad. That aside, Walcott never did much to improve his game. It's true he was quick on his feet, but his decision making was usually poor in front of goal. He did manage to score 101 goals and deliver 80 assists in 398 matches for the Gunners, but he would have scored a lot more given the kind of pace he had. Unfortunately, the time came for Walcott to leave Arsenal, and that was when all hopes of him becoming an England great died. Everton scooped him up for a fee of £20 million, but it wasn't money well spent, as he failed to impress the Goodison Park faithful. Now Walcott, who used to be one of the best young players in the English Premier League, is just another average player for his boyhood club, Southampton. Well, at least Walcott is still in the Premier League, but the same cannot be said of his fellow Englishman Dele Alli, who at the time was one of Tottenham's best players. Under the watchful eyes of Mauricio Pochettino, Ali developed quickly into one of the most feared attackers in the league. He was fast and witty with the ball, and when he wasn't scoring, he was creating chances for his teammates to put the ball in the back of the net. Now, clubs like Barcelona and Real Madrid only keep an eye out for the best players in the world, and for them to show an interest in Ali tells you just how talented he was. There was one problem though. The young lad had a nasty attitude. The backroom staff, his teammates, and his coaches have all attested to this. But that's not all, as he had also been criticised for his poor work ethic, especially during training. I'm sure he must have been thinking to himself that he's better than everyone else, so why train as hard as they do? Well, that mentality backfired pretty fast, as he fell out of favour with the fans, the coaches, and his teammates. And after moving to Everton and failing there, he found himself in the Turkish league on loan to Beşiktaş. By the way, Ali has scored just 2 goals in his last 26 matches, which is a far cry from what he used to be at Tottenham. Now, for a player to go from being watched by millions of people around the world to being watched only by a handful of football lovers in Turkey is just plain sad. But perhaps the saddest story of a player not reaching his full potential is Neymar Jr. It's true that the other players mentioned in this video are loaded with talent, but none of their skills come close to what Neymar can do with the ball. The electrifying Brazilian striker had all the skills needed to become the best in the world and more. He could pull off never-seen-before dribbles, place the ball into the net from long distances, and make mockery of the world's best defenders. It all started when he broke into Santos FC's first team at the age of 17. But that's not all, as Neymar has been given the South American Footballer of the Year awards twice, in 2011 and 2012. His talent didn't go unnoticed, as Barcelona signed him in 2013, and in just his second season, he helped the Catalans win the La Liga, the Copa del Rey, and the UEFA Champions League. So, with all this success, why would anyone say Neymar didn't reach his full potential? The answer is simple. He has never won the prestigious Ballon d'Or award, and for a player of his superb quality, that is very disappointing. The saddest part is, Neymar now plays for Al Hilal in the Saudi Professional League. But what are your thoughts on the footballers who never reach their potential? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, because there's more awesome football content where this one came from. See you in the next one.